Alright, so I'm going to be starting off with highlighting, and I like to use the NYX HD Concealer, and this is in the shade Nutmeg. This is the deepest shade that they have in this concealer, which sucks. So if you are much darker than I am, this might be a little bit too light, but it might work. I'm not really sure. I love this concealer because it's so creamy and it blends out amazing. So I just apply that underneath my eyes and then kind of like the side of my nose and fill in the gaps to make like a triangle type of shape. And then I also go down the bridge of my nose as well as on my forehead, make a little triangle above my eyebrows, kind of right in the middle. And then also my chin area and then above my lip at my cupid's bow. So once I finish that, this is how I look. You can modify this however you want, to do as little or as much as you want. But I'm going to go in with a damp sponge, and I like to use the Real Techniques Expert Face Sponge, or is that even what it's called? I have no idea what the sponge is called, but I get mine from Ulta. They have them Target. They have them at a bunch of places. And I think it is an amazing sponge, but you do want to make sure that it is damp because that is a key to making it blend out seamlessly. So I like to start at my eye area, and I start at the bottom and work my way up so that it blends in nicely. And a key is also to look up when you're getting right up under your eye, because it's going to help to get right up under there so that it doesn't crease at all. And then once I blend out both of my eyes, I'm going to blend out all the other areas that I added. And you just want to keep on doing this until it looks seamless. You don't want to have any harsh lines because then it's going to be really obvious that you highlighted and contoured and whatnot. But just keep going at it. Just kind of dabbing on your face, honey, and you will get it eventually. Once I have that blended in as much as I can, I am going to go with another NYX product, and I'm using their concealer palette, and I'm using the deep palette and using the deepest shade in the palette to contour. I'm using this concealer brush that I got from Target, and it just gets right everywhere I need it to go. To apply it, I just go the hollows of my cheeks by making a little fishy face, and then going around like my forehead area and then down the side of my nose. And now I'm going to take this brush by Real Technique, and this is the Expert Face brush, and I'm just going in and dabbing all of that concealer in to help it blend in. You want to make sure that your brush is going upward, not down, because you don't want to drag your concealer down. You want to go more upward. So make sure you're not bringing the brush down because it's going to look kind of harsh and really, really fake if you have the concealer going down instead of up. And I'm just going to keep dabbing that in. You can use an actual contour brush, but I like how the Expert Face brush does mine. So do whatever you really want, but I like how this brush works for me. And then I'm going to do the same thing around my forehead, just kind of blending that in and kind of moving this downward. The forehead area, temples and whatnot, I do move that more downwards to just kind of help it blend into the concealer that I used to highlight. And then for my nose, I'm just going to run the brush on the side of my nose, and I'm going to further blend out my nose contour and highlight with a sponge later on. So now I'm going back in with that sponge and just blending the highlighting concealer with the contour concealer and just making sure that they all blend together. And this also helps to further blend in that nose contour since the brush is kind of big. And then I'm going to use my SACHA Buttercup powder. But first, I'm going to go in and correct underneath my eyes since I crease super easy. So that concealer has already creased. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit more concealer to help that out. And I'm just going to blend that in. Then I'm going to take a different sponge, the same type of sponge, just a new one. And I'm going to apply that pretty heavily underneath. Like I said, I do crease very easily. So I use a lot of powder just so that I don't, because I will crease if I don't do this, and I kind of get it all over the place, but that's okay. And then once I do underneath my eyes, I'm also going to sharpen my contour. So I'm going to use the flat edge of the sponge and go right underneath that contour, and it's just going to make your contour pop a lot more. So I'm going to do that on both sides, and I'm going to bring it in pretty close, and then I'm going to do my chin and my forehead, and I leave my nose for a little bit later. Then I'm going to look crazy, but then we're going to go in and set the contour, and I'm going to be using the black radiance powder in Rich Mahogany, and I'm using a fluffy brush to apply that, and I'm just going to apply that everywhere that I had the cream contour, and I'm just going to basically set that. And then once I have set that, I'm setting that in all the areas, and I also go underneath. As you can see, I don't put concealer there, but I do put powder there. And I'm going to use a smaller brush to define my nose and set that nose contour, because the fluffy brush is just way too big to do your nose. So I use a regular like blending brush for your eyes, and then I go in and set my highlight using the BUTTERCUP powder, and I also go on the side of my nose next to the contour on the side, and this just helps to once again define the contour, and it also helps me since I like I said, I get creases very easily and I get very oily, so this just helps control the oil. Once I've done that, I don't like to bake for a long time. I don't like to bake at all, honestly, so I go in with a regular powder brush, and I'm going to dust off all of the excess powder. And then for the smaller areas, I'm going to use a smaller brush. I'm just using the setting brush by Real Technique. All these brushes are Real Technique for the most part. So I'm just going to use that. And then because I am a chocolate, the BUTTERCUP powder is still pretty in your face after I have taken off all the excess, and that's not cute. You can clearly see the lines. So I go in with a face powder, and I like to use my L'Oreal Infallible, and I am in the shade Cocoa, and I use the e.l.f. brush. This is the powder brush that like everybody uses, and I pack the brush with the powder and I put it all over my face, and this helps to not only blend in those lines, but to kind of just pull everything together. So once I have applied my face powder and my face looks pretty good, I'm just going to go ahead and finish doing whatever I'm doing with my face. So blush, illuminator, and lipstick, finish my eyes, whatever, and then I'm pretty much done. And once you've really done your entire face, everything really does come together. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope it was informative. If you did enjoy it, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do subscribe so that you don't miss any more videos from me. I did record this makeup look, so that will be soon. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.